Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. And it's Fabulous Friday. I hope everyone's going to have an awesome weekend this weekend. I don't know what mine's going to be like. I think we've got more rain. I have to wait and find out. My voice is a little bit croaky, so you'll have to forgive that. Right, Panalisa project shares, and today I've done I'll turn it that way around because of my camera, the envelope, little policy envelope that comes with the little ties there. I've done the fairy, which, if you have a good look, there's a few bits there still need poking out. So I did some paper piecing. A couple of people asked to see these word dies, so I've done that, and I can measure a couple of those as well. Of course, I'll do measurements on everything. And then right at the end, that lovely rose die that I cut out yesterday, I'm going to try and use that stampy foam on that and see what happens. That could be fun, eh? Yeah. Right, first up, the little envelope, and I can measure it now it's made. Seriously cute. I mean, I know that I shouldn't have cut these twine doodahs, whatever they're called, in the same colour cardstock. I should have cut them in craft or black or something. But it's just a really, really cute envelope. And if you're like me, I'm an absolute hoarder of envelope and pocket and tag dies. I don't know why. I just absolutely love them. Of course, you've always got to have the basics, which are the frames. But if you love to make little books or just stash stuff away in ephemera and things, then you need to have loads of different shapes of envelopes. I just love them. That's what it looks like inside. You've got that large notch there so that you can get your hand in. And you've got that lovely big flap as well. If you like to do it kind of like decoratively and you enjoy seeing your flaps, you can always put them to the outside. So it's entirely up to you. But now that it's made, I'm going to measure it closed, because that's how you would have it in your little book. And that is 3 inches by, I'm going to try and get it right there on the fold line, by 4 3/8, just a tiny, tiny fraction over the 8th. So really sweet. Absolutely love that. Next up are the words that people wanted to see, and probably better if I just rest these down. In fact, if I turn my envelope over, that might be a nice backdrop for it. So you get in all kinds of words, and these are kind of sort of stencil cargo style. These are really, really cute. I will measure the longest one and the height of one because they're all the same height. So we've got love, with, you, day, happy. You've even got anniversary, which is a useful one. I mean, that's great because, you know, I can put the right word on my hubby's card this year. And obviously there is birthday and wishes. So you've got birthday wishes. You've got thinking. You've got of, and you've got thank. So I'm trying to think. Thinking of you. There you go. And of course, cutting a different colour cardstock, you can put the letters back in so that you're two-tone, or you can just leave it like that, cargo style. I quite like cargo style. But cutting a few of these, you're going to end up with an awesome amount of little alphabets that you can store in a bag for use. But I hope she does some Christmas ones because I really like these. Perfect size. Right, anniversary is the longest one. So let's have a look at that. And we are at a fraction under a 4 1/4 inches. And then the height is the same on all of them. And it's just a fraction over 1/2 inch. So that's how big your sort of cargo stencil words are. So I just think they're really, really cute. And then next up we have the fairy, which is this one. And I did a bunch of paper piecing. And I've used Panalisa's, I think this cardstock is called Colourful. And you get the watercolour sheets in there as well as floral and pattern sheets, which are absolutely gorgeous. But I'll pop the floral behind. And you can see there how I've paper pieced it. I used a little bit of green to go down in the base there and a little bit of green in the wings. I've got the silver, which is also Panalisa's cardstock. And if you're someone who doesn't like to cut thick glitters and you have trouble gluing them, this one is quite a thin glitter paper, and the backing on it is almost like a tissue paper. It's thick, but it feels like tissue paper, so it glues down really quickly and securely. So I left it white in the centre of the flower and white in that lovely little, I don't know what you call that on the jar lid. You know, the doodah grippy bit. That's what we'll call it. Yeah. If you ever need anybody to open a jar for you, just say, I just can't handle, you know, the doodah grippy bit. Can you do it for me? And as my husband's always saying to me, it's perfectly all right, dear, because I talk Sharon. Yeah. I've got my own language going on most of the time. But I just think that's absolutely gorgeous. If I turn that way around, I can do a measurement. And that is, let's get it absolutely correct there, 4 3/4 inches high. So it's a really lovely size. You could, of course, do in foam and acetate. And I'm going to say that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 5/8. Maybe a little tiny fraction over. But I just think it's so pretty. Any colours that you wanted to do, you could even watercolour that, but I just think it's really sweet. So that one is that one. Right, now I'm just going to pick these up a second and come straight back. Right, so just had a little quick tidy up there so that I've got some space, and this is the rose dye that I cut out yesterday, but I thought it's quite intricate, so let's have a look and see what it does on one of these, which is Panalisa's stamping foam, magic foam, or fun foam, whatever it is you like to call it. And as I said, you know, yesterday, it's been around for a lot of years. It really has. Probably 20 years, if not more. So it's making a comeback. And I said to somebody yesterday who actually mentioned that, you know, because craft items are just like clothes. They go around in circles and they always come back, which is why a lot of stuff, I just refuse to throw it away because, you know, it's coming back eventually. You just don't want to be in a situation where you can't move. But yeah, stamp foam and of course scrapbooking paper, that's getting seriously retro again. It's going all the way back to the 80s, and I'm using Kitsch Flamingo today. Right, so I need to get my hot gun because the idea is to heat your foam, to squish it onto whatever it is that you want to do, ink it up and then stamp with it. So I'm just going to heat up my foam. Now if this is seriously loud, I do apologise, but you do need to get it quite warm in order for it to work. And I hope that you can still hear me, because if it's not successful first time, just reheat it again. Right, that looks good and hot to me. So I'm going to pick it up and I'm just going to stick it down there and see what happens. And if I haven't got a very good impression this time, I can just heat it up and try again. Now, you can see that. That's quite a nice impression there. Maybe a bit fadey here, but I didn't apply enough pressure. So I'm just going to ink that a little bit up and see what we get. Of course, because of the size of these foams, you're actually limited as to the size of backgrounds that you can create. I mean, you can go ahead and collage if you want to, but you're going to end up with joined up areas. I'm trying to get the edges of the stamp pad not to show, so I'm just rubbing the ink on the surface. And hopefully that's going to give a smoother appearance, because when I did the heart the other day, I was kind of like crisscrossing, and you can see that here. I used my saltwater taffy and did that, but you can see the edges of the ink pad. I do intend to crop that out and do a little tag with it for Monday. And also the cupcakes that people were asking about, I am going to be doing that too. So let's have a look what we got off our rose die. Because, of course, if you were cutting out your die, it would be quite nice to have a background paper or a tag that matched. Now, I'm poking in the middle because I know that that's where I applied most pressure and got the better impression. So I'm going to have a look now. Ooh, isn't that nice? Yeah, we like that. I like that. Now, I don't know what I did with the, oh, I've already gifted it. I gift all my cards and stuff away, and I think my hubby's already taken the box. But I was just wondering what it would have been like to have taken just a section of that die and laid it over there so you got the colour coming through. But isn't that pretty? You could actually go in with a water brush now in a different colour and do all sorts of stuff. All you have to do is wash it under cold water. All your ink will come off. Heat it with your glue gun and it will look exactly like that again. Wonderful. I love that. Well, I thank you so much for watching. I hope what I did was useful for you today. And as I said, I will be back up on Monday with more Panalisa. Have an absolutely awesome weekend. And as usual, all links below. Bye.